Whew. Man, what up, y'all? 2 games down in the preseason. Got Green Bay coming up. It's your boy, We Bleed Green, back with another vid. Um, I got the Q&A going on my Eagles page. I'm answering them questions in a bit, man. But just to talk about the team, where we stand so far, and how we've been doing in the preseason. Preseason been great, man. A lot of people say it's only preseason, so but we doing pretty damn good if you ask me, man. Our second string. You know what I'm saying? They look better than some damn starters. You know what I'm saying? Not on our team, but I mean like some first stringers from other teams. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty damn good, man. I got a lot of respect for Chip Kelly and the things he's trying to do, man. I know a lot of the fans was in an uproar because of some of the players that got traded, got cut. I feel some type of way too, and I still feel like, we got to do this throughout the season. Preseason, the thing about it is, man, it's a good sample size, and it's a good showing of how the players are, how they interact, how they in cahoots, the chemistry and everything. But one thing I always say about preseason is nobody puts it all out there. I mean, we blowing teams out like it ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? But I also know, in the season it's a way different type of game. You know what I'm saying? You got those first stringers that's out there all game. So, you got the best pass rushers in the league. They might come at your quarterback for 1 or 2 series during the preseason. But it's way different when they coming at your quarterback all game. So, we got this first game against Atlanta coming up in close to 3 weeks. But, the first game against the Colts, man, we did pretty good. Bradford didn't play. DeMarco didn't play. But, Ryan Matthews did his thing. Sanchez he was all right. Matt Barkley, he actually came in and did pretty good. And then Tebow, he came in and started off sharp with his passes. He went through a little bit of obstacles, then he got that rushing touchdown. But like I said, it's kind of hard to do real full analysis on preseason because you see so many players. Eric Rowe did a good job. You know what I mean? Ed Reynolds, man. I think I said in the video before, about these guys Chip Kelly had in the wings in the background on the practice squad, But I also said he might have these guys, on the shelf until he wants to build the team up that he wants. Now that our secondary is damn near all new guys, you're starting to see a lot more of the younger guys. Even though Reynolds and them played in the preseason last year. Well, of course, Reynolds got cut and then he got brought back on the practice squad. But he really showed, some good field vision. You know what I'm saying? Pretty good, man. Pretty good. And I actually like Ed Reynolds. You know what I'm saying? We've seen a lot more Jalen Watkins now. Seen a lot more of who's the other guy? Watkins, of course, he didn't really play a lot last year, but Nolan Carroll holding down the number one spot. You've seen a lot of Eric Rowe. Unfortunately, we lost Ja'Cory Shepherd to an ACL injury, which is unfortunate because he was more than likely penciled in to be our starting nickel corner after we traded Boykin. So now you have 2 or 3 different guys alternating in that role. My thing is, I think they'll get that role to Eric Rowe though. I mean, he drafted him in the second round. You might as well play him. Excuse me. Oh man, allergies, man. But the second game against Baltimore, we got to see Bradford for 1 series. Of course, the controversial hit Terrell Suggs made on him, caused the uproar and everything. But above all, he did pretty good, man. He got in and he gave you a small sample size. You're going to see probably a lot more Bradford in this upcoming game against Green Bay. Of course, they lost Jordy Nelson to an ACL tear. This was one of the games I wanted, I couldn't wait to see because, and I don't bet on preseason games, but I was actually going to bet my homie, he's a Green Bay fan. I was actually going to bet on this preseason game because you're going to see the starters for, probably the most you'll see in the preseason. And I really wanted to see how we stacked up against Aaron Rodgers in that Green Bay offense, how our secondary will perform against one of the elite quarterbacks. And, Randall Cobb, Jordy Nelson. These guys, man, they pretty good. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to see from our team. I want to see like not just us win games. I want to see us stack up against the best. You know, like if you look at our schedule this year, it's a pretty cushy schedule. I mean, it's not like last year. We had the easy games first, and then you had the best teams that we had to play, like Arizona, Green Bay, Seattle, like those elite teams. You know what I'm saying? We don't really play no elite teams this year. Like we got the Patriots, of course they the Super Bowl champs. That's gonna be a pretty good game, and that'll probably be our hardest game aside from, the division, the 6 division games we play. I don't really care how bad the teams are in the division. Division games usually the most physical, intense games that can go either way. So I mean, you're not guaranteed to sweep your division just because other teams you might consider bad. Those games is always tough games. But above all, I predicted us going 11-5 this year. Um, I can see us losing 1 or 2 division games, particularly Dallas and the Giants. You know what I'm saying? Giants got all their receivers back now, so I mean they should be pretty good this year. If Odell Beckham can pick up where he left off, and Ruben Randall, he's all right. I mean, and they getting back Victor Cruz, so I can see us losing 1 or 2 games against the division. I'm not going to automatically say the Patriots game is a loss. I mean, Detroit going to give us a tough game. These are good teams, but they're not like elite teams. Like when you play Seattle, you play the elite defense, like the number 1 defense in the league. This is what I'm saying. Like they can shut down your offense regardless of how powered it is. Of course, as you saw last year, what they did. Green Bay is an elite team. You got the high-powered offense. You know what I'm saying? You got one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Matt Stafford, he's a good quarterback. But as far as Detroit go, the most elite player on the Lions is Megatron. So like that's not really. And of course they lost 2 guys on their defensive line. Dom Kung say probably the best defensive tackle in the NFL. Now, had we been playing them with them, it'd have been a different story. But I think that's a winnable game, but it could still go either way. You know what I'm saying? Because Arizona, that game could go either way. So these are not really hard games that we can lose automatically. Like when you go up against Rodgers, you can say, all right, the 52 to whatever we had, that's not out of the ordinary. Like that's Aaron Rodgers. But we play teams that we can win against, man. The reason I said 11-5 is because, a couple times last year we played some good teams and we lost to them. It's not like we didn't win except against the Colts. So being realistic, 12-4 is doable, but the fact that we changed this team so much, you know what I mean? You're gonna see like a totally different team. Like you got different safeties now, more aware, more alert safeties. So we could possibly have a banging ass record. I could be wrong. I'm just picking 11-5 because I want to say 12-4, but I'm gonna say 11-5 because we always seem to lose games we should win. And theoretically, if say we lose to the Cardinals, we lose to the Lions, we lose to the Patriots, and we lose 2 division games. That's 5 losses. We also got to play the first game of the season is going to be a tough game. We're going up against Matt Ryan. I don't know if some people say he's one of the elites, probably top 10, top 20. But you got Julio Jones, one of the fastest receivers in the league. You got Roddy White. You know what I'm saying? So, like, these guys have had 100-plus receiving seasons. So, they're a force to be reckoned with. But I think Atlanta's a winnable game. First game of the season, though, it all depends on what team is really season ready. You know what I'm saying? So, if we season ready and they not, but it's a winnable game. All of our games are winnable games. So we could go 16-0 if we really, really, like, went hard. Went hard completely. We could go 16-0, but I'm not trying to be far-fetched. But the Ravens game I seen the other day. You know, I seen a lot of good things. Some things we need to work on. You know, um, Tim Tebow, he got in the game. He looked average. You know what I mean, like regular. Matt Barkley didn't play as good as in the Ravens game as he played in the Colts game. Um, Sanchez was Sanchez, you know. But that first drive gave us a lot of hope, man, and put a lot of didn't put a lot of emphasis on what Bradford's gonna do this year, but it was a small sample size of what you could get out of Bradford. You know, he took that hit from Suggs and he still drove us downfield for a touchdown. So Sanchez did have a touchdown too, but they called it back because of a holding penalty on Julian Vanderveld, I think. But as far as our defense in that Ravens game, of course, you know, Maxwell had an interception. Nolan Carroll, man, and that's one play I really want to talk about because Nolan Carroll was running stride for stride. I always say the instincts of a safety. Nolan Carroll was running stride for stride with this receiver, and at the last second, he poked the ball. Thurman was right there to catch it and intercept it. Those are the kind of plays that turns you into a defense that you gotta respect. And if you keep making those kind of plays, and you know you keep doing your job, you on assignment, you're not missing, you're not late in coverage, you're not safety trailing the play. Those are the kind of plays that get your defense respect, and eventually your defense turn into one of the best in the NFL. I feel like this year, you know, Thurman's not Nate Allen, so you know Thurman got the slot corner instincts, so strong safety shouldn't be an issue for him. As you can see, he was in the right spot at the right time up against when Carroll poked him the ball. Nolan Carroll, like Nolan Carroll, I'm glad he's gonna be the starter. I always say, y'all know, I always preaching these videos. You know, you got to give the in-house guys a chance to shine. You know what I'm saying? So Nolan Carroll being at the number 2, I'm very happy with that move. Brandon Graham re-signing, I'm very happy with that move. And my man Michael Kendricks. Randy Graham and Vinny Curry, my favorite players on defense. But my man Michael Kendricks just signed the extension. Congrats to him. You know, was it 4 years, $29 million. So he's here for the next 4 years. I'm happy about that. And it caught me off guard. I was so hyped. You know, now we got basically our 1-2 punch for the next few years to come. Kiko Alonso and Kendricks. We still got D'Amico, so you know, Mufasa can teach and educate, you know, these guys and school them. And then they'll be ready in a year or so. What else happened? So far, I think we waived 2 players. We just waived Emmanuel Acho today. That was unfortunate because I really liked Acho. I wanted him to make the team. And when Travis Long went down with the ACL tear, of course, I know I put that in my last vid, I thought Acho had a legitimate shot at making the team. Of course, you know, Marcus Smith is going to be out for 2 weeks. He tweaked his hamstring, but he should be ready by the season opener, they said. Zach Ertz had surgery, core muscle surgery, so he hasn't been playing at all in the preseason, but they say he should be ready by week 1. D'Amico, he's ahead of schedule, but they're uncertain about his status for week 1. And my man Earl Wolf got released, man. Like, I loved Earl Wolf, man. I saw in him, like, his potential. And when I went to the training camp, he me and my friend Rachel, NFL, shout out to her, he was signing autographs, and we asked him, we said, "You said you was gonna start next to Jenkins, right?" He said, "Oh yes, definitely." Fortunately, that knee injury, man, it just those kind of injuries linger, and I know they frustrate players the most because you know you try so hard to come back from it, and it just keeps lingering and plaguing you, and then it winds up messing up your career. But as Wolf always say, man, God always has a plan. Everything happened for a reason, so God got him. I wish my man the best, man. Got love for you, Wolf. We gonna miss you, man. Acho too, man. Acho had, of course, he hurt his thumb in the Ravens game, and he just had thumb surgery, so they waived him. But I like Acho too. But all right, let me get into the Q&A. I think I covered everything so far. They leave the questions on here and I answer them all. You got all right. Let me go back to the old one because I was supposed to do a video on this one, but I never got a chance to get to it. So let me just go back to the old Q&A. I know my videos be mad long. I gotta I gotta try to shorten it up as quick as possible. All right, let me read off these questions. Okay, Philadelphia Eagles 2015. Who do you think will get cut at the quarterback position? Um, I don't think anybody will be cut unless you have to make a decision because we can't trade Barkley. I feel like the way Barkley played in the first game, my whole thing about this Tebow Barkley thing, I think Chip Kelly keeps Tebow here regardless, and he tried to trade Barkley because and I say as good as Barkley been playing, he's just upping his trade value to get traded. So I think at the worst case scenario, we don't cut any of the quarterbacks. We just trade Barkley. Philadelphia Eagles 2015 also said, who do you think can fill in for Ja'Cory Shepherd? I definitely think Watkins is capable of that, but I would rather Watkins, play I would rather Watkins play backup Maxwell or Nolan Carroll. I think Eric Rowe can fill that slot in full, and it'll be a good thing for the rookie to get his. But at the same time, the slot, it comes down to some of the best receivers in the league line up in the slot to create mismatches. So if you were gonna put Ja'Cory there, I think you should just let Rowe play there. But if Watkins can take that spot, give it to him. But I think Eric Rowe, let Eric Rowe play the nickel position, and also play backup or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Get these guys in the game because they need that experience. But I think honestly that position is gonna go to Eric Rowe. Peyton the King asked me who will be the starting slot wide receiver. That's gonna be Jordan Matthews because I think Chip Kelly's philosophy with him is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I think Jordan Matthews being a tall receiver, just like I said with us, our nickel corner, he can create mismatches at the slot position. And against the good teams with the cornerbacks that could play two roles, you will see a lot of the best cornerbacks line up in the slot just for him. But I think Jordan Matthews is gonna stay in the slot. Nikki215 asked me, do you think Wolf and Cooper stays? Obviously Wolf got released already. I think Cooper stays. Yeah. Definitely. It's better to keep him on the team than to take that financial hit cutting him. But I think Cooper stays just because Now I don't know if he's gonna start for the whole year. It might be somebody that takes his spot from him, but I think Cooper stays. Yeah. McGormick _172. He said predict all games. Yeah, like I said, I predicted us going 11-5. With any losses coming, I think Dallas, Giants, Arizona, Patriots, and maybe Atlanta. Or if we don't lose to Atlanta, we could possibly lose to Detroit. Okay, Litter Life. What do you think the defensive back lineup will be like, and who will be starting opposite of Byron Maxwell, starting at strong safety with Malcolm, and who will start at nickel corner? Nickel corner, I obviously think it's going to be Eric Rowe. Alongside Byron Maxwell is going to be Nolan Carroll in my book. He hasn't done anything to lose his number 2 spot, so he should be there. And of course, starting at strong safety next to Malcolm Jenkins will be Walter Thurman. These guys actually took those spots from the beginning of camp, and they haven't done anything to lose them. So you got Maxwell and Carroll, Malcolm Jenkins and Thurman, and Eric Rowe at the nickel. How do the match up to the Cowboys, and how are our defense compared to the league? Trevor Good, 501. we match up pretty good against the Cowboys, and I think honestly they're at a disadvantage because the first game they got players that's out. So I mean, we should win that game. And the fact that they lost Skandrick for the year to an ACL tear, I think our cornerbacks match up with their receivers better than their cornerbacks match up with our receivers. Because if you look at it, they got Dez Bryant, their premier receiver, and we got Max, we got Matthews, we got Huff, we got Aguilar, we got Cooper, we got Miles Austin. Terrence Williams and Cole Beasley, they can hurt you in certain ways, but not really. Based on the cornerbacks in the secondary that we have. Our secondary is better than theirs. So I think we match up to the Cowboys better than they match up to us. So I think we got the advantage there. As far as our defense comparing to the rest of the league, I think our defense is going to be. I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna predict top 10 because we was ranked 15th against the run. So our front seven against the run was 15th last year. We can only get better because nobody's gone. I mean, we did lose Trent Cole, but Brandon Graham is my guy. So I think top 10, so maybe even top 8. I'm gonna say top 10, top 8, top 10. So compared to the rest of the league, we match up pretty good. Like our defense, I think is gonna be the shit this year. Barry Torello, what I think about the wide receiving core. Like I said, we got guys that's young guys, but they can be dynamic. Like I said, Matthews is a mismatch in the slot, but Huff can move around. Aguilar can move around. You know what I mean? Then we could throw Austin in there with his experience. Riley Cooper, he can always, wind up having a good year. You know what I'm saying? So, I think our wide receiving core, I got to give them a B plus, B minus, B plus. And it's only a B minus because they still young guys that gotta, go out there and prove it. But even Jordan Matthews having a good rookie year, he still gotta go out and prove that the sophomore jinx won't get to him. Aguilar got a lot to prove because he's a rookie. So I would say B minus, B plus in that vicinity. Big boy JG06. Does Marcus Smith even deserve being on this team? Yeah, I think he's fully deserving of a spot. And then he was doing a lot better, man, until he tweaked his hamstring. So, I mean, some people say he's not a first round pick, this, that, and the third. And I know Chip say that was Howie Roseman pick. But anybody that makes it in the NFL, he deserves a shot at redemption based on what he couldn't do in his first year. So I think he deserves to be on this team. He just got to stay healthy and he got to go out there and just let the game come to him. Like, don't go out there trying to do all this extra and too much. Just be the outside linebacker, pass rusher that you can be, and you should be all right. But I think he deserves a shot at redemption, so I think he deserves to be on this team still. Jack R413, address the Eagles' weapons on offense, especially Sproles in his flex role. Everybody know about Sproles, but of course last year Chip Kelly stopped using him as a weapon as much as he did. But of course, our main weapon on offense is going to be DeMarco Murray. Our 1-2 punch, Ryan Matthews. Then you got to cover Sproles. We got so many offensive weapons. Like, it's crazy. Like Aguilar, he can line up anywhere. Josh Huff, he's out for redemption. You know what I'm saying? So we got a lot of guys that got something to prove. And when you got something to prove, those are the most unstoppable players in the NFL. But as far as our weapons, Sproles, you got to stop Murray on the run game. Then you got to worry about Matthews on the run game. You got to worry about Bradford's arm. Bradford's arm is a weapon itself. Like, I seen this guy throw at training camp. Bradford's arm is a weapon itself. So, Darren Sproles, weapon. Josh Huff, weapon. Aguilar, weapon. We just got so much weaponry, man. I don't really see, like, if Chip Kelly really, like, game plans with these guys the right way, I really can't see a defense that stops us. You know what I'm saying? So, now, Zach Willis 2002. First, I'm gonna say who gonna win the NFC East. Definitely us. I see us winning the NFC East. How unpredictable we gonna be? If I rank the NFC East from 1 to 4, Dallas got to be ranked number 1 because they the reigning NFC champs. So right now, I'll rank Dallas first, us second, the Giants third, and Washington fourth. Now after the season, I rank us number 1, Dallas number 2, and Giants and Redskins 3 and 4. But after this season, I see us being number 1 again. Unpredictable, man. We gonna be as unpredictable as Chip Kelly chooses to be, man. Like, I felt like a lot of games last year, we was real predictable. We was real mediocre. We was real flat, like, against the better teams in the NFL. Like, I really didn't see too many adjustments. And a lot of people were saying our offensive line was hurt, this, that, and the third. I mean, but honestly, I'm going to just keep it real. I think Chip Kelly played it safe because of the Mariota curse. And everybody know when I talk about the Mariota curse, I think he wanted Mariota and he was just trying to, like, get himself into a position to work out some kind of draft day deal to get Mariota. But I don't know. I mean, now that Mariota's in the NFL, I don't really see the Mariota curse being a factor no more. So I see a lot of different stuff in this offense that nobody going to be able to, like, what the hell is going on here? Like, things like that. I see a lot more unpredictability now than I did last year. But it's only going to be as much as Chip Kelly wants it to be. You know what I mean? So that's that. Eagles Army. How will the Eagles run blocking do this year? Man, that's I think the left side is a lot more of a solid factor. Even though we lost Evan Mathis and we have Alan Barber, I believe the fact that he's next to a future Hall of Famer and Jason Peters, our run blocking going to do great on the left side. As far as Lane Johnson, he's established. The main guy that you got to think about is Andrew Gardner. Of course, last year his run blocking wasn't that great, and we were weaker on the right side because of that. So I feel like with a year under his belt, we'll be better. And the fact that he's just picking up where he left off from last year, if he's going to be the starter, it should be a lot better this year. But the fact that we got a power runner, we got power runners now. Sometimes our run blocking will get bailed out by the fact that these are power runners. So, but I believe our run blocking is probably gonna be B-, B+, based on the fact that we got 2 new guys. Whereas last year we could have been ranked A+ had we had the offensive line we planned on having all year. And when Shady won the rushing title, of course, But I think we B-, B+ right now. I give them that grade ahead of time. It's up to them to either prove me wrong or prove me right. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, and James 29, where Wolf stands on this team. Like I said, that was my guy. I believed he deserved the shot, and he did some things, and I saw his potential, but of course they released him. So, I mean, we could pretty much see now where Wolf stands on the team, at least in Chip Kelly's eyes. I got a few new questions. Carson Novell, are your expectations higher this year than last considering the all-season moves? Definitely going to say hell yes. With the moves we made and the money that they gave out and the players that we signed, my expectations, 10-6 won't cut it. We might make the playoffs with that. It depends, but 10-6 won't cut it for me. That just goes to show your record with an easier schedule. Your record remained the same, so that means you didn't get really no better or no worse. The stats might say otherwise, but hell yes. Whatever we do this year, my expectations is way higher. The fact that we got Maxwell, we got a whole new secondary, we got new linebackers, we got new cornerbacks, we got basically a damn near a whole new team. So when a coach does that, which I probably never seen in the NFL before, you get rid of guys in their 20s you have to higher your expectations as a fan, because now you got to go out and prove that even though they're giving you credit for being 10-6 for 2 years straight, taking the team from 4-12 to 10-6 or whatever they say. Now you got rid of most of those guys. Those is Andy Reid guys. Now you got to prove that you can still do that with your guys, because now you got your team out there. So my expectations is definitely higher. Um, my man Philly Fanatic 93. My man Ant. How many yards and touchdowns do you think Jordan Matthews will have this year? I see Jordan Matthews as a 70 plus reception, 1,000, like 1,100 yard receiver. So I would say between 70 and 75 receptions, maybe 75 and 80. But I'm going to go with 70, 75, 11, 1,200 yards. Maybe, yeah, 1,100 yard receiver. That's my take on Matthews. Um, Noah CYR25. Who do you think is the most underrated Eagle? On defense, the most underrated Eagle on this team is Benny Logan. Got to be my man Benny Logan, because a lot of people don't know he led nose tackles and tackles last year. He had the most tackles out of any nose tackle in the NFL. And he's only going to get better because he got another year of continuity with the same front three. So he's going to get better. You know what I'm saying? But Benny Logan's the most underrated Eagle on defense. On offense, our most underrated Eagle is probably that's a tough one. I would say Selleck, Brent Selleck, because he's not used a lot in the receiving game now, but he's a blocker, man, like such a good blocker, and he means a lot to the offensive line. I remember at training camp, I seen this guy, he blocking with the offensive line. I mean, he's a blocker. I know they say Coop's a good blocker as a receiver, but most underrated Eagle on offense got to be Brent Selleck, man. I mean, his game ain't all catch this, catch that, but the fact that he can sacrifice, his game, his catches for the better of the team and be a premier blocker, I gotta make him the most underrated Eagle on offense. But above all, if I just had to pick one, got to be Benny Logan. 12 o'clock Hank. Is T-Bird worth keeping? I don't know. I like Tebow, but I'm not really. I feel like he's worth keeping now because I think Barkley wants a chance to actually play for another team. He's worth keeping now because, like, above all, he doesn't really have to throw it, but he can do damage with his legs. You know what I'm saying? I know his reputation as getting them comeback wins and all of that. That might be overblown in my eyes a little bit, but he's definitely worth keeping because he creates that run threat. So imagine having Tebow lined up with Murray and Sproles. You don't know who's going to get it. You don't know if he's going to keep it. So I believe he deserves a shot. He's definitely worth keeping because of his legs, man, his ability to run. And he can also complete the occasional pass. So he's definitely worth keeping. All right, Kyle Dowd, 163. How do you think the offense is looking? And is our secondary better than last year? Offense is looking great, man. But the thing about our offense is we always had a dynamic offense. So, I mean, you can crush what you did before by doing better, but we're always a great offense. So, like, I mean, I'm not gonna say that's not impressive. That's just not something that blows me out the water because I know our offense is that good. So, I mean, it's hard to keep, trampling. It's hard to keep trumping what you did and getting better, but it's always exciting to see. But our offense, man, is dynamic. It's exciting. It ain't enough words to describe it, man. As far as our secondary better than last year, yes, definitely. Like I said, I think our secondary could have been halfway Like it looked as bad. It looked as bad as it did, but a lot of people didn't understand my analysis. Like when I said Nate Allen's not. It was a lot that went into our secondary last year that wasn't supposed to happen. Like Jenkins was supposed to be the deep safety, but of course they put him in intermediate coverage because when Michael Kendricks went down, you lost your coverage linebacker. So you put Jenkins, the best coverage guy now in the whole defense, up against the premier tight ends and the premier slot receivers. You want him to use his corner skill. He had to basically be Michael Kendricks because even though we had Acho and Matthews and Nate Allen, they trusted Kendricks more in intermediate coverage. So they moved him up and they let Nate Allen play deep. And then when Kendrick came back, we lost D'Amico. So you had to switch Kendricks to D'Amico role, playing basically the Mike position, running the defense, and guarding all the other guarding all the running backs and stuff like that. So you bring in Acho and Matthews again, but then you got to bring Jenkins back to intermediate coverage again. But this year is going to be different because you can put Thurman deep, you can put Jenkins deep. So our secondary is definitely better this year, and I see a lot more. I see us doing way more than we did last year. Even though I won't give last year as bad as rap as everybody else, because I believe we could have eliminated half of those bad plays had Jenkins been the deep man and not Nate Allen. So, but that's that. Okay, Iggy 2002. I'll get back to this one. Make one of all the offseason signings and highlights of the players who were signed, or make one with Chip Kelly and the rookies. Okay, I'll get back to that one. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it on questionnaire things. So I hope I answered everybody questions, man. This video is actually pretty damn long, but the Q&As is always long. So you know what I mean. But anyway, man, comment below, subscribe to me. Shout out to everybody that followed the Instagram. I'm almost at 13,000 followers. Thank y'all for that. We underscore bleed underscore green. The Twitter page, we bleed green 84. And subscribe to me. Y'all can comment below. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what y'all think of this vid. And I hope I answered everybody questions with good enough answers, man. But anyway, y'all know what it is. Bird gang fly, Eagles fly. Salute to the whole fam, the whole gang, and everybody. I love y'all, man. Peace.